90% of anglers have fallen into this trap, using the wrong bait and lures. No wonder you always can't catch fish. Is there anyone like me who, on weekends, carries their gear to the river early in the morning, full of confidence that today will definitely be a bumper harvest, only to sit there all day with the float never really knotting properly? In the end, you can only comfort yourself. Maybe the fish aren't hungry today. But it's really not that the fish aren't hungry. Most of the time, it's just that we're using the wrong methods for bait and lures. I've fallen into this trap for over a decade, and today I'll chat with you about it, so you don't have to pay the price like I did. The first big trap: using too much bait, so the fish don't come at all. Many new anglers, as soon as they get to the water, want to pour a whole bag of bait into the water, thinking the more bait, the better the fish will like it. But in the end, after casting the rod, there's no movement at all. I have an old fishing buddy, nicknamed Bait King. Every time he feeds the fish, he uses a small basin. At first, he could really catch a few fish, but later, there were fewer and fewer bites. He was so angry that he kept slapping his thigh. Then I told him, "You've fed the fish so much that they're full, leaving us sitting here like fools." Actually, fish are like humans: if they eat too much, they don't like to move. Especially crucian carp and carp in old water areas, they're extremely alert. If there's too much bait in the nest, the fish will just circle around the outside and won't dare to come in at all. What's more, if you use too much bait, the sediment at the bottom will be thick, and the hook with bait will easily get buried. The fish can't find the hook, and the chance of going home empty-handed doubles. If you want a bumper harvest, don't overfeed the nest first. Moderate feeding, in batches, and frequent small supplements are the way to go. The second big trap: incorrect hooking method. The float nods wildly, but the fish don't touch the hook at all. The most typical mistake is hooking a whole earthworm with most of the hook exposed. When I first learned to fish, I thought the bigger the earthworm, the better. I'd thread a whole one onto the hook, but the float would only make small movements, and I couldn't catch any fish. Later, an old angler taught me to use only half an earthworm, thread it from the broken end, and let the head of the earthworm dangle in front of the hook. When the fish sucks, it swallows the hook, and the hit rate doubles immediately. There are also anglers who like to use dough bait or pulled bait. If the bait ball is too big or the hook is exposed, no matter how much the float moves, it's useless. Remember, when hooking bait, the hook and bait must combine naturally. The hook shouldn't be completely covered, nor completely exposed. The bait should be lively, and the hook should be sensitive, so that the fish can swallow it with confidence. The third big trap: careless knotting of the fishing line. The bait hook often deviates. You think the fish are being uncooperative, but the problem is actually in the knotting method. A friend of mine loses fish 7 out of 10 times he fishes. Later, I checked for him and found that he just tied a dead knot, didn't even wet the end of the line, and the knot would slip when pulled. Especially when using braided line, incorrect knotting makes it more likely to break. For a correct knot like the Palomar knot, you must wet the end of the line first, then pull it tight slowly, with a clear position and firm tightness. That way, no matter how hard the fish bites, the line won't break. Another thing many people overlook: different baits are for different fish. Don't think one bait works for all. One spring, I went to a small river to fish for crucian carp with a friend. He brought half a caddy of earthworms, and I brought some corn kernels. I fished all morning without catching a single one, while he caught a fish with each earthworm. Later, I realized that in spring, crucian carp in small waters are particularly sensitive to fishy bait, and they don't care about corn at all. On the contrary, in hot and stuffy summer, fishy bait attracts small fry instead, and corn and vegetarian bait are the way to go. Another time, when night fishing for catfish, my friend stuck to earthworms, while I used chicken liver pieces. As a result, he chatted with me all night, while my hands got sore from continuously reeling in fish. Different fish species and different waters require very different baits. Don't stick rigidly to one method. Ask old anglers more, or check information in advance, so you won't regret it when packing up. One last detail: don't be lazy. Change the bait frequently and keep it fresh. Especially live bait. If you don't change it for half an hour, the fish won't smell it. Sitting there with a dried up earthworm, waiting for a fish to bite, is just self-comfort. Fishing is both simple and difficult. The key is to think more about these small details: using the right bait, hooking it properly, tying good knots, changing it frequently. Use your brain more and use less bait, and you won't catch zero fish. It's recommended that before your next fishing trip, choose the right bait according to the target fish species and the fishing ground. Don't think one bait can catch everything. When you get to the water, feed a small amount, supplement in batches, and after there are fish in the nest, check the hooking method. Use half an earthworm. Don't make the dough bait too big. Don't expose the hook completely, and tie the fishing line knots standardly. It's best to practice a few times in advance. Don't be lazy when fishing. Change the bait immediately when it's not working, and keep it fresh and active. This way, the hit rate will definitely soar. There's never an absolute one-size-fits-all formula for fishing, but as long as you're willing to think more and practice more, use the right bait and methods, fishing will no longer be a matter of luck, and the harvest will naturally be good. Finally, I'll leave you with an old saying: there are no shortcuts to fishing, the tricks are all in the details. Don't be afraid of falling into traps, try more and summarize more, and you'll definitely become the fishing king in others' eyes. Remember to call me when your fish bag is full next time. Author profile: I am a self-media blogger who loves fishing and is good at sharing. Follow me, and we will exchange fishing skills and discuss every bit of angler's wild fishing. Give a like, collect, and follow to keep up with the next update.